New information in the Target data attack. The hackers who stole millions of credit and debit card numbers may have used a Pittsburgh area heating and refrigeration business as a backdoor way to get in. This new development comes after lawmakers this week put the head of the company on the hot seat. And joining me now, Mary Beth Quirk, a senior editor with Consumerist. So, Mary Beth, this is so fascinating. Tell me about this backdoor theory.
The backdoor theory just means that the hackers probably went through this heating and air conditioning company's system to gain access to Target's network because they communicate with them electronically via their network.
Okay, wait, but back it up for us laymen. How does a heating, company get to Target and millions of people's information being accessed?
Well, the hackers were very sophisticated. The malware that they were using was probably, the authorities think, designed just for Target, just for this purpose. So they really did their studying when they went into this heating company's computers. And the company communicates with Target for things they say, just like contracts and billing and things like that. So from there, it's still kind of murky. They get into the heating company's system, and they just work their way in and make their way through to the customer databases.
That's wild. So Fazio Mechanical Services says that it was the victim of a sophisticated cyber attack operation, that it is cooperating now with the Secret Service and Target. They're trying to figure out what happened here. So what does this tell you, though, about the computer networks that big companies increasingly rely on?
It's kind of scary. I mean, you would hope that a huge company like this would have all the security systems in place, and they say that they do, and that there's no way that any other big companies that work with this heating company were affected. But it's a little bit. Companies are definitely looking at their security systems to beef them up right now, because if this can happen to Target, it can happen to any big retailer.
And certainly the breach being the subject of a hearing on Capitol Hill this week, where lawmakers were zeroing in on the timeline of the attack. Let's listen to this.
How many days from the time you were told of the breach versus when you were able to send them notice out?
From the time we found the breach, we found the malware on our system, to the time we notified was 4 days.
Does that surprise you? 4 days?
It does. All we can go on those, that their explanation was that the first day was when they were really figuring out that this had happened and making sure there was a problem. And then the next day they had to make sure everything, actually right away, make everything was locked down. So they walked through the process and say that finally they had to take a day to figure out how they're going to tell the press, because they wanted to make sure they had all their information, their facts straight. So it's kind of surprising, but it's pretty quick.
Here's something else that's surprising. I mean, shoppers are certainly concerned about the safety of their personal information following this breach, but apparently they're not making major changes to their behavior. Case in point, this recent Associated Press poll, 58% saying they have deep worries about spending online, but 37% plan on using cash for purchases. 41% have checked their credit reports. These numbers add up for you? You surprised by any of it?
It seems pretty normal, because consumers, unfortunately, they see things like this happening and they think, oh, that can't happen to me. But I'd really urge everybody just to keep checking those credit reports, keep all your things secret, secure, don't tell anybody your passwords, all that kind of stuff. But definitely keep checking on things, because you never know. It could be you, and the next thing you know, you're out, a bunch of money.
Do you think we're through the worst of this breach?
I think for this breach, yes, but I think that there's a lot of focus and attention on it now, so hopefully there won't be any more big ones like this, but the problem's continuing, and there probably will be other breaches like this.
From the Consumerist, Mary Beth Quirk. Thanks, Mary Beth.
You're welcome.